I'm also live on YouTube. YouTube, hi, welcome. Alrighty. All right, so hey everyone, welcome. So today we're talking about, and if you see me looking over here, it's YouTube over here, and then it's TikTok over here, so just bear with me. Today I want to talk about why fibroids make you look pregnant, okay? Because I get a lot of questions about this. I want to talk about why your fibroids can make you look pregnant. Really important topic because I know that this is something that a lot of women that have fibroids deal with, and it adds to, you already are dealing with fibroids, and then on top of that, you're dealing with this lower abdominal distension, making you look like you're pregnant, even though you're not pregnant. And then you have people asking you, are you pregnant? It can really take a huge hit on your self-esteem as a woman as well. So it can really do a number on you psychologically, right? And I want to talk about why and what to do when this is the case, okay? This is it's pretty common, especially if you have multiple fibroids. If you have a large fibroids, for your body to look as though, for you to have that look, have a lower belly that's hard. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about why that happens, and also the risk factors and what to do if you're in that situation. Okay. So I'm live on TikTok. I'm live on YouTube, and I hope everybody's doing good. If you are currently dealing with fibroids, feel free to put a 1 in the chat. I don't know why I look blurry on my on my camera on YouTube, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I look much more clearer on TikTok. But anyway, I hope that you guys are doing good. For those of you that are just coming in, my name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist. In case you're just watching me for the first time, I help women dissolve their fibroids. I help women by getting to the root cause of the problem, by seeking root cause solutions. Okay, I help women not just dissolve fibroids, also dissolve ovarian cysts, reverse endometriosis and adenomyosis, reverse PCOS, reverse uterine issues, restore their hormonal balance. I help women get to the root cause of these issues so that they're able to heal naturally, okay, without surgery, without medications, without all of these things that actually do more harm to the body. So I love what I do. I love putting the power back into women's hands when it comes to their health, when it comes to their healing. And it's important for you to understand your body as a woman, because a lot of women do not understand their bodies. They don't know what's going on. They've been told they have fibroids. They don't understand why it came about. They don't understand why it showed up. And I'm here to help you bridge that gap so you're able to, because if you don't understand how something is created in your body, you're not going to understand how to shrink and dissolve it. Okay. So we're talking about that today. Why fibroids can make you look pregnant. And this is, again, not to make anybody feel, this used to be me. This used to be me. So I'm really passionate about this topic. Okay. Hey, yes, I'm dealing with endometriosis and it's been hard. Okay, Mrs. Effortless, you're in the right place. I'm happy that you're here. And I know that also too, when you're dealing with endo, you can have that, some women that are dealing with endo can have that quote unquote endo belly. Or when you're dealing with fibroids, you can have that quote unquote fibroid belly. So we're going to talk about it today. Okay. And it can really cause you to, it can be depressing. It can cause you have large fibroids. Okay. Hey, Lanita. Okay. Oh, so definitely, you definitely want to watch this for sure. And if you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the thumbs up button. Y'all that are watching from TikTok, make sure that you are tapping on that screen. Okay. So fibroids, you have cysts on your ovaries as well. Okay. So you're definitely in the right place. Definitely in the right place. Okay. So fibroids can make some women look pregnant. Okay. And the reason, because you have to understand, as they grow, especially if you have fibroids in the uterus, whether they're in the uterus, in the uterine cavity around the uterus, like they start to affect surrounding organs and tissues as well. So there's this tumor growing inside of you, right? It may start off as 2 centimeters, then 5 centimeters. So it starts to take up space, right? It starts to affect surrounding organs. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that, Mrs. Effortless. So the reason why you may have this appearance of looking pregnant, right? And I know that can be very horrifying. You're dealing with fibroids and all of a sudden people are asking you, when are you due? When are you due? You have like this hard lower belly, right? It's due to the size and location. You have to understand that as your fibroids grow, as your uterus is also growing, right? And it's causing your uterus, you to have an enlarged uterus. It's causing your uterus to be expanded to, kind of like upward and outward, to push itself upward and outward, depending on where the location of the fibroid. So it's almost like it has the effect of a growing fetus in your uterus as well. So this is why it gives you that appearance of looking pregnant, even if you're not pregnant. Okay. So this is where this is where the stomach protrusion comes, that lower belly protrusion that's hard to touch. If you're dealing with that, there's a lot of women that they have fibroids, they're going to the gym, they're going to the gym, they're going to the gym. Everywhere else is able to tone up, everywhere else is able to, be toned, and they're able to lose fat everywhere else. But the belly, they're not able to lose fat because that hardness, and it doesn't go away. We're going to the gym, y'all. It doesn't go away. We're going to the gym. Okay. You have to start shrinking and dissolving this fibroids. You have to address what's causing the fibroids in order for this to shrink and dissolve. And a lot of women, when they have the fibroid belly, when they feel as though they have to have surgery no matter what, and that is not the truth. And you're talking to somebody that's helped, for those of you that are new, that's helped hundreds of women all over the world shrink and dissolve their fibroids. I had a client, and I have her in my pin post on TikTok, as a matter of fact. I had a client who literally dissolved her fibroid belly within a month. She showed me the before and after pictures, and I posted them. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's welcome, ladies. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Hold on. Yes, I don't want to have surgery. Yeah, surgery. Listen, if you have surgery, you will just regrow the fibroid, unfortunately, right? Surgery is a temporary fix for a deeper problem. This is why women regrow the fibroids right back after surgery, okay? So a lot of women think they have to have surgery, right, if they have fibroids, okay? Have you had a client it didn't work for? Not if they were following the protocol. Not if they were following the protocol. When you get to the root of fibroids, it has to work. Fibroids don't grow. Let me explain something. Fibroids don't grow in a healthy body. So when you're dealing with fibroids, you're dealing with backed up waste in your body. You're dealing with backed up toxins. You're dealing with a congested lymphatic system. You're dealing with backed up digestive system. When you address the inflammation, when you address the toxin, it has no choice. Fibroids can't live in a healthy body. It can't. There's an environment that fibroids grow in. Right? So when you follow the protocol, there's no such thing as it not working. There's no such thing. Now, if you are, again, part of that protocol is not just physical things that you're doing, also to addressing the emotions that you're holding on to, addressing the stress as well. So all of these, when you have to, a lot of people too, they may just do like a little protocol. They may just do, adjust their diet, maybe make a couple of changes, but they're not actually addressing the stress. They're not addressing like the deeper emotional things. When you do the work, it works, period. I stand on that, okay? I've been doing this for years. So, okay, just want to make that a point, because I get that question a lot too, okay? Because there's a fear of when you've been indoctrinated, and I'm not saying this is you, Lanita, but I'm just saying in general, when women have been indoctrinated like, oh my God, I have to have surgery to get rid of my fibroids, they're never going to shrink and dissolve on their own, they're never going to, natural way doesn't work. When you've been indoctrinated to think that, it's hard to even conceptualize. And I get it. I totally get it that fibroids can shrink and dissolve, because we've been told that these things just come about because they're genetic, or because you're a Black woman, right? Or because they just grew, you're just unlucky. I don't know. Doctors are not really sitting down with women and telling them, no. It's your lifestyle. It is the emotions that you're holding on to. It is that you're suppressing. It is due to your stress. This is why you have fibroids. And if they would do that, women would understand, listen, you don't have to suffer. So when you address these things, right, the fibroids have no choice but to shrink and dissolve, okay? I want y'all to understand, before we can talk about anything else, y'all need to understand that, okay? So when you're dealing with fibroids, when you're dealing with this large fibroid belly, you have to also understand that it's due to your uterus being enlarged as well, okay? It's due to what can you do for calcified fibroids? Calcified fibroids can shrink and dissolve. It's more of a complex problem because the fibroids have hardened. You don't have to do surgery, but you do have to, here's the thing, you do have to address the root cause, right? It's more so I recommend, and I'm not just saying this so you can work with me, but you actually getting on some type of protocol, so even if it's not me working with somebody. When we talk about hardened fibroids, right, it's a little bit more of a complex problem. You have to address the root, but you may have to be a little bit more aggressive when you're dealing with, because they've hardened. So it's gonna be a little bit harder for them to, but they still can shrink and dissolve. okay? You've tried a lot of things, you don't want surgery. Have you actually tried getting to the root cause of the problem? I hear that so much, and I love it. Thank you for saying that. When I hear women say I try a lot of things, it's typically, you know, maybe the castor oil, maybe, you know, a lymphatic massage, acupuncture, herbs, this, that. None of it is getting to the root cause of the problem. Okay, none of it is addressing your hormones. None of it is addressing, you know, your elimination organs, right? It's just like surface level work. It's just, so you can't do surface level work when you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with large fibroids, especially when you're dealing with multiple fibroids, especially, honestly, if you have fibroids at all and if you want to prevent them from ever coming back, you have to realize that fibroids is not just a uterine problem. It's a full body issue, okay? Hey, YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a full body issue. It's not just a uterine problem. So a lot of women just think about their fibroids. They're just thinking about, oh my God, I'm just focusing on the actual fibroid, but you're not focusing on why your body developed the fibroid. This is why you start doing, a lot of people start doing the surface level work. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. You have to get to the root of why your body developed fibroids. So it's not just the question of, how can I shrink my fibroids? It's actually, how do I get to the root cause of the problem? Yeah, it's similar. Mrs. Effortless, it's very similar. As a matter of fact, cysts tend to be easier to shrink and dissolve than fibroids because they're fluid filled, you know, they're filled with fluid. So stress, absolutely, right? So you have to understand when you're dealing with a large fibroid belly, when you're dealing with a fibroid belly, like when you're dealing with your stomach protruding due to fibroids, means that our uterus is enlarged. Excuse me. And when your uterus is enlarged, it doesn't just cause bloating and discomfort. It starts to put pressure on surrounding organs, right? And it starts to have a colossal effect in the body. Okay, and a lot of women are there already. I went vegan, I tried. So vegan ain't always healthy. Let me just say that vegan don't equal healthy. Vegan can include soy, it can include all types of sugar. Vegan don't mean healthy. Try teas. Teas don't heal. I'm sorry. Teas don't heal. It was hard to tell if it was working or not. Teas don't heal. Herbal teas are great, y'all. But we're doing surface level stuff, right? So we're doing surface level stuff. Yeah, you do have to change your diet, but it should be a womb healing diet. It's not just go vegan or cut out meat or whatever. It's deeper than that, okay? You have to eat a diet that's going to help you heal your womb. I agree with pushing it onto other organs. Yeah, if you have fibroids and they're growing, of course it's going to start pushing on other organs because that uterus is also going to grow, right? So, you know, this becomes a problem, especially if you have multiple fibroids, you got large fibroids, this becomes a problem. So especially when you have multiple fibroids, it becomes compounded bulk. Like all of this, like these fibroids are not, like a lot of you guys have 8 centimeter fibroids, 10 centimeter fibroids. They're taking up space, y'all. And I know we don't like to think about it like that, but just think about, you know, an orange or a grapefruit. Like, you know, this stuff is taking up space, okay? It's on other organs right now. That's why you're on my FYP. I'm happy that I came up on your FYP. I am happy about that. Yes, the thing is putting stress on my side. I can never say that thing right. Nerve and oh my God. Yeah, it starts pressing on nerve. It starts pressing on nerves. That's another thing too. And that you may notice a lot of times, I used to think when I was dealing with fibroids, I used to think I had carpal tunnel because my hands were always tingling, not understanding that they were the fibroids pressing on nerves and taking up space in the body. So your uterus isn't just slightly larger when you're dealing with fibroids, it's also heavier. It's also thicker. It's also fuller, right? And then it can start pressing on other organs. So you may look pregnant, right? And that's because your uterus has expanded in the size and the shape due to the fibroids. Also, too, when you're dealing with a large fibroid belly, ladies, you have to also, this is waste. These are toxins. This is backed up waste, toxins, and fluid in the body that you can't get rid of, that's just there. So when you have fibroids, your body is keeping toxins in the body. It's not properly dispelling the toxins like it's supposed to when you're dealing with fibroids. And when you're dealing with fibroids, again, we're dealing with inflammation, we're dealing with bloating. This also too, if you're dealing with a fibroid belly, it can also affect your posture, you know, depending on where they're sitting. So it just is so much that goes along with it. And you have to think about, it's not just a physical ailment. It's not just, you know, a vanity thing when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to the fibroid belly. It's also to your health because as the fibroids grow bigger, they can also cause issues with constipation, right? Depending on where the fibroid's sitting, if it's, it can press on the rectum and cause difficulty, with having a bowel movement. Also, too, can cause leg pain, back pain. If they're, depending on the nerves they're sitting on or pressing on, there's so many things that can occur when you have fibroids. A lot of people, like I said, we don't really think about that these problems can happen until they actually happen. So fibroids is not just a uterine thing, it's a full body issue. I always say that. Fibroids is not just a uterine issue, it's a full, good evening, yoga. It's a full body issue. It's the environment in your body allow for the fibroids to happen. So when you're dealing with fibroids, you're dealing with poor circulation in the body, you're dealing with a backed up lymphatic system, you're dealing with a backed up digestive system. The liver is not detoxifying like it's supposed to. It's not eliminating waste like it's supposed to. There's so much going on. The kidneys are not filtering out waste like they're supposed to. Your body you're recirculating waste in the body. It's so much going on when you have fibroids, right? Your body's under a state of stress. Your immune system is lowered. It's a lot. And it's not, this is why when women have fibroids, they start to have other health issues, not just anemia, other mineral deficiencies. They start to sometimes even have heart problems, depending on how long you've been dealing with fibroids, right? High blood pressure or heart issues. It's a full body issue, ladies. It's a full body issue, okay? So it's not something to take lightly. It's not something to panic over, but because you have control over it. You have control over your health. I had 25, when you say you have 25 rework in 2024, I'm not understanding, Rhea, your comment. And now the doctor is saying enlarged uterus again, too small, multiple in pain daily. Are you saying that you had 25 removed, I think? At this point, if they could just stop hurting me, I'll accept that. Why do we settle for that? Why do we want to settle for it just stop hurting? Why can't we settle? Why can't we say, I want it gone? I want the fibroids to shrink and dissolve. I want the environment in my body to be healthy. I want my hormones to be in balance, because if I have fibroids, my hormones are not in balance. I want to stop settling when it comes to our health. You deserve better. You deserve better. Okay? You deserve better. Sometimes there's adenomyosis. Exactly. Fibroids and adenomyosis. A lot of women have fibroids and cysts. A lot of women have fibroids and endometriosis. A lot of women have fibroids and autoimmune disorders. That's very common. A lot of women have fibroids and thyroid issues. Don't get me started, because again, when you're dealing with fibroids, that's an estrogen dominant condition. So if you have one estrogen dominant condition, you can easily get another one. So it may start out with fibroids, then it's endometriosis, and then God forbid it's something like breast cancer, uterine cancer. These are estrogen dominant cancers. So it's not, y'all, it's a lot deeper than what you think. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you, you're going to get cancer. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that when you can reverse the environment in your body. You know that, right? I do want all of that. I don't want to settle. Absolutely. And nobody should settle for just wanting to feel better, right? I get it. The herbs and teas, that's what they're for, but you have to do that in conjunction to actually doing the work and healing your body and getting to the root cause of the problem. Fibroids did not just grow out of your body. They did not just grow out of nowhere. Your fibroids did not just grow out of nowhere. I hope y'all understand that. I know these doctors will have you thinking that, oh, it's genetic. Oh, it just grew. Oh, because you're black. It just, it happens to everybody. They will have you thinking that it's normal, but it's not. Yeah, I want this ish gone. Excuse my language. It's okay. All I keep hearing is birth control. Yeah, and surgery. I'm so traumatized by surgery. Surgery is traumatizing, especially when they grow right back. Guess how I know? Ask me how I know. Surgery is traumatizing, especially when they grow right back, and they will. If you have fibroids and you haven't gotten to the root cause of the problem and you have surgery, they will grow back. So then you have to ask yourself, why am I going through an invasive procedure? For what? When I can actually start now and getting to the root cause of the problem and getting rid of this fibroid. Because it looks challenging, plus trying and failing, plus doctors saying there's no other way. Well, you have to, and I'm happy that you said that. Okay. Here's the thing. When you're on a journey to heal naturally, you have to understand that your doctor was not taught to heal naturally. Doctors weren't taught this in medical school. They weren't taught that there's there's root causes to every health issue. They weren't taught that. They weren't taught to heal naturally. They don't even teach them about nutrition that much, right? And I'm saying this as somebody that has a sister that's about to graduate from medical school. So I know what they teach them and what they don't teach them. They don't teach them about estrogen dominance. They don't teach them these things. So your doctor's gonna tell you from this, your doctor, and I have a friend that's a nurse practitioner. They're gonna tell you from the scope of what they were taught in school. That's all they can really do. So a lot of us are expecting our doctors to heal us. If you have fibroids, I want to shake you right now. Your doctor can't heal you. So you're going there. You keep going to the doctor, asking them, what should I do about my fibroids? They're going to prescribe one of three things. They're either going to prescribe the surgery. They're going to tell you do surgery or hysterectomy or birth control or medication. Besides that, they have nothing else for you. So you have to ask yourself, why do I keep going to the doctor for a problem that they can't solve? What are you doing? And my doctor's telling me this. Okay, you know that they weren't taught to. So if you truly believe, you have to pick a lane. Do you truly believe that you can heal or not? Or are you born to suffer? You got to pick a lane. This is something I have to do in my own life. I have to also help my clients go through. Am I just put on this earth to suffer for the rest of my life? Because if you have fibroids, it's not, like I said, there's women in their 60s and 70s also dealing with this. It doesn't just go away. So were you put on this earth to suffer? Okay, I hope you don't think that. Or were you put on this earth to, yeah, maybe you got fibroids, but it's because of the lifestyle. And not trying to blame anybody because you don't know what you don't know, right? It's because of the lifestyle that you were living. It's because of, the foods you were eating, the trauma that you were carrying, that you were suppressing, all of these things. So you have to pick a lane. What do you believe in? What do you truly believe in? Do you believe that your body can heal, is a self-healing mechanism and that can heal and regenerate if you actually clean up the environment? Do you believe that? Or do you believe that you're just, ain't no hope for you? What do you believe? You got to pick a lane. Okay? I believe I can heal with the right guidance. Absolutely. 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 You have to trust in your body's ability to heal. You have to. You can't just be, and I get it. When you've been dealing with fibroids for a long time, it can look like it's a hopeless, I was just talking to my client today. Who's been dealing with fibroids for 10 years, and her fibroids now are shrinking, and she never knew that this could be her life, and her periods are so much better. Her fibroid, her life is completely different. She was like, I was dealing with fibroids for 10 years, and I had to tell her, and her doctors would tell her, they can't shrink. There's nothing you can do. You gotta get surgery, all of this stuff. And she was like, she thought that this was gonna be her life. Did you get rid of your fibroids? I sure did. I did. I just told as a matter of fact, I just did a YouTube video about that, and actually a TikTok video, and I put it on YouTube. I'm live on, so when I'm live on here, I put the replays on YouTube as well. I'm also live on YouTube as well. So if you want to see how I did that, if you go under my live stream section of my YouTube, I talked about how I eliminated an 8-centimeter fibroid. Okay. I talked about that, how I eliminated, not just shrunk. I eliminated an 8-centimeter fibroid. They shrunk at first, but then they're gone. Okay, it is gone. So yeah, but I changed my entire life. I changed my entire life. Okay, I did not just, I'm gonna do a little tea, I'm gonna do a little diet. I am not the same person that I was when I got fibroids as I am now. I completely changed how I handle stress, my boundaries, everything, trauma work, completely. It's not the same. So a lot of people, they want to go that video. I talked about it in that video. Somebody's asked me, what have you changed then? I talked about it in that video. So if you watch that video after this one, okay, you should be. I talk about it almost every live stream, but I talked about it, and that's why I did that video. Because people keep asking me, what'd you do? I talk about it in that video, okay? So watch that video. And I'm teaching, as a matter of fact, let me just say it now that you guys are here, that you guys are asking about it. I literally have a 5-day live course starting next week, the 23rd through the 27th, where I'm teaching women every single day on Zoom, 6 o'clock, p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day on Zoom, how to get rid of their fibroids for 5 entire days. We're talking about healing your hormones. Day 1. Day 2 is about a womb healing diet, how to eat a diet that actually helps heal you, the lifestyle changes to do. We're talking about how to release trauma from the body. We're talking about the last day is going to be about the full outline and roadmap on how to get rid of fibroids. So I'm literally teaching for 5 days how to get rid of fibroids next week. So if you haven't enrolled, what are you doing? What are you doing? The link is in my bio. Our Fix Fibroids in 2026. This 5-day live course is for women that want to get rid of their fibroids in 2026. Period. So we're only in the second month. That don't want to continue go year after year dealing with these same fibroids. That want to put it into it. Okay, so if you're interested in that, the link is in my bio. The price is $297. You get lifetime access to the replays. Okay, if you're watching me on YouTube, the link is in my description box. Okay, thank you. Thank you. But anyway, like, why are there so many people being diagnosed with this? It's in the air, food, water. It's in it. It's look at the lifestyle of people. Look at the lifestyle. We've gone so far away from health. Look at the stress. Look at what people are carrying. It ain't, yeah, we have toxins in the air. Yeah, we have toxins in the water. Yeah, we have toxins in the food. But what foods are you choosing? That's another thing too. How are you? Look at, and stop. Okay, so I get it. A lot of people are being diagnosed, but I want you guys to look at you and ask yourself, am I really, in every single day, am I doing things to heal my body, or am I doing things to take away from my health? Look at your habits. Look at your habits. Look at what you're doing. Look at your lifestyle. Look at how you handle stress. Look at who you allow in your life. Look at your lack of boundaries. Look at everything. Doing a real assessment of your life. When you look at how people are living, I'm like, how can they not have fibroids? This is why a lot of people are being diagnosed with cancer. Like, look at how people are living their life these days. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. Look at how people are allowing, are dealing with stress these days. They're either drinking it away, smoking it away. Like, look at and suppressing it. Look how people live their life. How can people not have fibroids? How can people not have cancer? Like, how can people not look at what's going on? I can't see what's wrong with okay, well, that's where I come in. That's where I come in. When you learn how to heal, and I had a client tell me that as well before she started working with me. When you learn how to heal, okay? When you learn, you will see what's going on in your life. A lot of us have blind spots when it comes to our life. We do. We like, well, I do things healthy. I go to the gym. I eat vegetables a couple times a week. I drink my water. And you're not seeing, like, we have blind spots about our daily habits because we've been doing them for so long. And I get it. I was the same way as well at one point in my life. But then I look back and I was like, woo, I was very unhealthy. Okay. So say all that to say. So you have to understand, so fibroids don't just come out of nowhere, ladies. Your body, the environment in your body allow for them to develop, allow for them to grow. And a lot of times this environment in your body has been forming for many years, okay? Has been forming since you had your first period even. Go back to they grow slowly. It depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the lifestyle they're living. Because a lot of you guys, when you're dealing with lots of stress, as a matter of fact, a lot of women don't even notice their fibroids, or they're not diagnosed with fibroids until they went through a stressful event in their life. This is why a lot of women were diagnosed after COVID. A lot of women are diagnosed after going through loss. A lot of women are diagnosed after going through a really stressful relationship. A lot of women are diagnosed maybe going through a divorce, going through a really bad custody battle, or maybe they finished nursing school, they finished their master's, and during that time they were in school, they were not taking care of themselves. They were under so much stress, they weren't sleeping right, their hormones were all out of. So typically it happens after a very stressful event. Not saying that stress was like the trigger for it to actually develop, but those hormonal imbalances and those toxicity in the body has been forming for years, if that makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But it's important that you actually, like I said, you gotta get to the root cause of the fibroids. Fibroids don't go away on their own. They actually, as a matter of fact, somebody asked earlier, sorry, I missed that question, whether they can surgery, or is surgery the only thing that gets rid of fibroids? No, because surgery it may get rid of the fibroids temporarily, but they grow back. So surgery doesn't even work. UFE doesn't work because they grow back. They grow back, and you still have the environment in your body that caused them to happen after the surgery. You're just losing all this blood, and yeah, you may not have the fibroids for the time being, but is it worth it? It's not, because you're putting your body through all of this trauma, and when your body is already, again, in a compromised state, right? So you got it. So how do you balance your hormones? We're talking about that in the 5-day live course, Fix Fibroids in 2026. But when you talk about balancing your hormones, a lot of people think that a supplement would do it. They think that a cream would do it. No, you got to get to the root of, why did your hormones become imbalanced in the first place? What caused, and again, if you look at the hormone hierarchy, it's due to the insulin and cortisol. Your body, so that has to be, when your hormones are out of balance, it's because the cortisol and insulin, it has to go through there first before, again. So if you are dealing with fibroids, that means, of course, your hormones are out of balance. again, you got to get to the root. That's that cortisol and that insulin, right? So those things have to be dysregulated for fibroids to form as well, okay? So, but you mean if you work on yourself and trauma don't come anymore? What do you mean they don't come anymore? What do you mean if you work on yourself? What work? What exactly are you talking about? Be more detailed than that. If you actually get to the root cause of your fibroids and reverse the internal environment in your body that's causing them to grow, yes, and learn how not to suppress trauma, how to bring it to the surface, how to release it so it's not sitting in here, sitting in the body, sitting in the womb, because the body always keeps score, then they won't grow. Why would they grow back? So you have to, a lot of us don't understand that it's the environment in our body that's allowing the fibroids to grow and thrive. Fibroids don't develop in a healthy body. They can't survive in a healthy body. They can't survive in a body that's with your elimination organs working properly. They can't survive if your lymphatic system is healthy. They can't survive if your circulation is good. They literally can't survive there. These are balls of toxins. So so it's important. Maybe it's my stress. Lanita, come to the 5-day live course. You'll learn what it is. The 5-day live course, okay? It's literally in 1 week. We start in 1 week, and I'm so excited about it. I'll be teaching women how to get rid of their fibroids and literally 5 days on Zoom. You Q&A, all of that. So it's important. So when you're dealing with fibroids, when you're dealing with this fibroid belly, not only can it sit on the nerves, not only can it press on organs, you have to understand it can press on the kidneys as well. A lot of women that have fibroids, that have large fibroids, have kidney issues, right? Because it could press on your bladder, causing issues with urination. Like if you're frequently using the bathroom, or you have difficulty emptying your bladder and you have fibroids, it's because that fibroid is sitting on that bladder. So that's another issue as well. It starts, like I said, as they grow, they start sitting on different organs. They start pressing on different organs and causing more issues. Painful intercourse, abdominal swelling and bloating. A lot of women that, who have fibroids, issues with it stopped from urinating. Yeah. And once it starts doing that, that's when it becomes very uncomfortable, causes constipation sometimes, depending on where it's sitting. Back pain, that's when it starts to, because fibroids, some people you may not experience symptoms at first, but as they grow, a lot of women start experiencing symptoms, and it starts affecting their daily life. There's a study that was done that said 57% of women that have fibroids, it affects their daily life. Like literally, and that was me as well, right? Frequent urination, dealing with, heavy bleeding, you're dealing with, extremely heavy periods to the point where you can't even leave the house. You're gushing blood. Like, oh, this is not normal. And the fibroids start to run your life. You're not even running your own life. The fibroids start to run your life. You have to plan your life around your period, plan your vacations around your period. Your life is not your own anymore. Your body is not your own anymore. The fibroids start taking over and draining your life force. Can you attend to my question? I don't see your question. Can you ask it again? I had 2 removed, working to balance my body so they won't come back. If you have anybody that's had fibroids removed, thank you so much for the gift. Thank you. Anybody that's had fibroids removed, you still have to do the work on getting to the root cause of the problem. You haven't done that work yet. And I'm saying this because I don't want your fibroids to grow back. Anybody, I know that a lot of times we think, okay, we're in the clear, we just gotta do a little something after the fibroids were removed. No, you still have to do the same work as a woman that has fibroids does, because you haven't addressed the root cause as a man. You still have to do that work so that the fibroids doesn't grow back, because your hormones are still out of balance, right? So you still have to do the same work. I got 2 back now after 5 years. You're even lucky. Some people get it back after 5 months after surgery, okay? Some people, a few months after surgery, they grow back, okay? It's just not worth it. Living in constant anxiety of them growing back. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it. What are signs that are shrinking? You're gonna notice. Okay. Signs that are shrinking. I'm gonna talk about the period, but I'm gonna talk about how you feel. The fibroid belly goes down, like it literally goes down. It softens. You feel more, you have more energy, you have more vitality. You can literally feel your body like absorbing nutrients better because you just feel more, like you just feel more, how can I say this? You know, when your body's starting to heal, you just feel better. You have more energy. You sleep better. Your periods are much better. They shouldn't, like, when your body is actually healing, when the fibers are actually shrinking and dissolving, your periods are no longer than 3 days, 3, 4, 4 max. Your periods are much lighter. You don't have symptoms before your period starts. Your period comes every 27, 28 days or 29 days. It's not like, oh, it comes 21 days, every 21 days, it's not all over the place. It's right? You feel better. Like you're able to, your periods are much better. You have more energy. You have your anemia, all the nutrients, like your face you glow more because you have more nutrients, right? You just feel, that's how you know you're on the right track, right? That's how you know you're on the right track and your body's healing, right? And it gets better as time goes on. This is why track your period. It gets better as time goes on. Your period is a vital sign. Track it. What can I do to calcify fibroids? I don't want surgery. I said that already. I answered that question already. I said getting to the root cause of the problem. When you have calcified fibroids, it's more of a complex issue. I would recommend working with somebody, even if it's not me, because it's calcified, it's hardened, okay? But you can still get rid of them naturally. And that's another thing too. When you have fibroids for a long time, ladies, they can harden. They can become calcified. And not saying that you can't get rid of them at that point, but it becomes a little bit more complex as well, okay? Can stress cause fibroids? Absolutely. That's one of the biggest root causes of fibroids. Absolutely. Stress wrecks your entire body. It messes, like, from your gut health to your sex hormones, to your ovulation, to your menstrual, like, it wrecks the entire, absolutely. That's where it starts, as a matter of fact. Your body being in a state of stress. I had 5 removed, first child, 7 removed, 2 then came back. I had a UFE, menopause, and fibroid. Wow. I'm so sorry so sorry. Yeah. So no more fibroid procedures. Now we want to get to the root of why your body developed fibroids. These procedures don't work, ladies. They grow back. They don't work. I don't care what your doctor told you. Some say it will get worse before it gets better. No. No, I did tease. My period was all over the place. Be careful with the teas. I'm not saying not to do them, but be careful with them. How do I contact you? You can send me an email. You can send me a message, send me an email on here. If that, yeah, that's fine. If you want to work, if you're interested in working with me, yeah, okay. If you're interested in working with me, again, 5-day live course. And for women that are interested in working with me more one-on-one, I do have my 2-month intensive that happens inside of our Detoxify Your Womb program, which is the best way to work with me one-on-one for 2 entire months. We starting March 1st. So we're taking clients now for March 1st. I'm so excited about it. 2 months. I had a client get rid of, her fibroids was 7 centimeters. She came in with 7 centimeters fibroids, 2 of them. Her fibroids, after 2 months of working with me, she went to get an ultrasound a month after that. It was 3 centimeters. And literally 2 months of working with me, it shrunk 4 centimeters. So it went from 7 centimeters to 3 centimeters. And that was like a few months ago. So I know that the fibroids are gone now. Had another client, went from having 15 fibroids, 15. She worked with me for 6 months. She then had, after 6 months, it went to 2. And those 2 that she had left had shrunk significantly from 15 fibroids to 2. Do you use supplements? No. Supplements don't heal. Can I message you via WhatsApp? Absolutely not. I don't give my number. I do not give my number. Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. And what are you, I don't know why people ask me that. It's only TikTok I get that question. People ask me that question. That is so weird. Why do you think I give my number to online? That's weird. Okay. So, thank you, her error. Can I pin that comment? Y'all not listening. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. Simple. Listen. They will ask me, does this work? Does that work? And that's why you guys are not seeing success, because you keep looking for a cure in a bottle. You keep looking for a cure in an herb or a tea. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. And that's the work a lot of women don't want to do. That's the work women don't want to do. How much per second? I don't know what that means. That's the work women don't want to do. You got to get to the root cause of the problem and stop trying to look for a quick fix. You have to stop. Tea ain't going to heal you. I'm sorry. It's not going to address the hormonal imbalances, your body being in literally a state of inflammation. It's not going to heal you. If we knew, we would. I get it. But we have to, and again, it's because we've been indoctrinated to think that one thing, because it's like almost like we're still hanging on to Western medicine ways, right? Western medicine says, hey, take this medication. You got heart issues, take this medication. You got this, take this medication. So we want to apply the same thing to natural healing. Hey, take this herb, take this. I'm not saying those things have their place. They have their place, but you gotta go deeper. You gotta. This is why people will have fibroids for years. They're trying everything on the market except for getting to the root cause of the problem. Okay, how can you help me? Because I'm from the Netherlands. I had a client from the Netherlands before. I've had clients all over the world. I actually have a client currently in Australia. I can help you. If you have Zoom, I can help you. Okay, and Wi-Fi, I can help. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay. If you want one-on-one help, again, my 2-month intensive is open. I'm working with clients for 2 whole entire months, one-on-one, to get rid of their fibroids starting March 1st. More information about the 2-month intensive in the link in my bio. The 2-month intensive inside of our highest level program, our Detoxify Your Womb program. And again, we're doing a 5-day live course next week, Monday through Friday, every day with me on Zoom, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get the replays if you register for only $297. You're learning how to get rid of your fibroids. You're learning how to get rid of your fibroids. I'm not doing that 5-day live course. I'm not doing it again. So if you miss it, you miss it. Okay? So be sure you want to take advantage of that. If you're in Thailand, oh, okay, you in Thailand. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. If you have, I'm sure you have Wi-Fi, you have Zoom. There we go. What time is the Zoom? The Zoom is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not able to make it, because I have some UK girls that have registered, and it's going to be late, like 11, 12, so they're going to watch the replay. Okay? So if you register, you get lifetime access to the replay. Okay? So even if you're there, you're taking notes, it's not really registering, you can watch it again and again and again, right? Sometimes we have to watch things over again before it actually kind of like, seeps in. And that's totally okay, especially if it's new information. Is this for all fibroids? It doesn't matter. Yeah, Angela, it's for all fibroids. Every single fibroid. Okay? Absolutely. I'm trying to reset my nervous system. I'll have to watch the replay. That's totally fine. Okay? Any other questions? I know I'm going, and if you're watching this, make sure that you're on my email list. Click the link in my bio, join my email list, okay? I know that I'm on my email list. You literally get 7 days of fibroid healing truths, our 7-day fibroid healing truth series if you join our email list. So if you haven't joined our email list, click the link in my bio, subscribe to our email list. If you're watching from YouTube, you can click the link in my description box to subscribe to our email list, okay? But yeah, I'm excited. How do you like Lanita? How do you like Thailand? And everybody loves it over there, okay? Everybody loves it over there. Okay. I don't see any questions. How much to pay? How much to pay for what? The 5-day live course is $297. Okay. How much is subscription fee? What subscription fee? I'm not understanding. What do you mean? Subscription fee for what? Okay. Anyway. Any last minute questions before we go? Do you guys understand that you have to get to the root cause of your fibroids? Do you understand what's going on in your body? The reason why your fibroids are making you look pregnant? Okay. You're over here trying to heal. Okay. And that's a better place to heal than America, but you can still heal in America, everybody, for those that are watching. You can still heal in America, but definitely Thailand, the food and everything is better. So yeah. It makes it easier in other countries, especially if you are in a country that you actually love. Okay, I lived in Spain for a little bit. I did not like it. Did not like it. So I'm back, but I'm gonna move out the country again next year. All right. That's all I got, ladies. Again, do you understand? Please put a 1 in the chat if you understand that you have to get to the root cause of your fibroids. Put a one in the chat also too, and also if you're watching from YouTube as well, if you understand why your fibroids are causing you to look pregnant. Okay, thank you. I'm over here just talking. I hope you guys are absorbing this information. Okay, your doctor's not going to teach you this. I'm so sorry. I know that it's shocking because your doctor is not going to teach you. They're going to tell you it can't shrink, it's impossible, but we're doing it every single day in our Detoxify Your Womb program. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, my client and I posted this on my Facebook and also on, I think I just posted it on Facebook. But anyway, I'm going to post it on my stories later on. My client sent me an email saying she's only been working with me for 3 weeks. She can feel her fibroid shrinking because she can feel her fibroid because she's a smaller woman. And she can literally feel it shrinking. She's like, I feel so much better. This is 3 weeks of working with me. So for those of you that really think that your fibroids can't shrink and dissolve, we do it every day in our programs. We do it if you follow me, I don't know how you can think that because the way I'm posting testimonials, video testimonials, showing you it can actually happen. But you gotta trust that it can happen and believe that it can happen for yourself. Okay, the food is better. Their junk food is nasty. So I naturally lost 7 pounds. Okay, good. You have Instagram. I do have Instagram. What is my Instagram name? I think it's Sasha. It's linked in my bio. It's linked in my bio. You'll see my Instagram there. When they dissolve, then when they shrink and I think you mean dissolve, do they leak? No. They shouldn't. Your body breaks them down. Okay? They shouldn't leak. No. Where do the fibers go when shrinking? Your body breaks them down. It can go through your bowel movement, and it depends. I don't know. It depends on how your body breaks them down. For me personally, I didn't see it. I just started feeling better. I started having better periods, and then when I went to get an ultrasound, they were gone. It was gone. I had one fibroid. It was gone. So for me myself, I didn't like all of this. It fell out, this leaking, all of this stuff, and with my clients too, the same thing. All of this dramatics. I don't know what regimen people are on that experience that, but when you're actually doing it the right way, I don't think you're supposed to experience all of that. Okay, I'm just saying. I've heard. Okay, I don't know what regimen they're doing. I don't know. I've heard people say that, and usually they're on a regimen I wouldn't recommend because it's temporary and it doesn't last. So they may be on a really tough regimen, but then it's like temporary, and then they go back to their regular habits, and then what? They grow back. I had a client one time, this is a while ago, a couple years ago. She said before she started working with me, like a couple years before she started working with me, she drank some type of concoction. I don't know what it was, but she said she saw it on YouTube. And she had her fibroids fall out. And then they grew back. And then she ended up also developing PCOS. So she never addressed the root cause. And so when she was working with me, that's when she was addressing the root cause. Her fibroids didn't fall out when she was working with me, but she was able to have her symptoms improve, balance her hormones, feel her actual fibroids shrinking, have much better periods. All the symptoms of her fibroids shrinking was there. She did not want to do ultrasound, which some people don't, and that's totally fine. Some people they don't want to go through that radiation, and I totally understand. But she was like, I know that they're shrinking because her fibroid belly she had a lower belly, like hardness, it was going down. So she knew her fibroids were shrinking. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys, I'm gonna go now. It's getting late. If you're watching this, get on my email list. There's no reason why you shouldn't be. We sent out 7 days of fibroid healing truths. If you don't understand fibroids and why you need to be on our email list, come on now. I'm teaching on the email list every single day. I tell you guys when I'm going live, you get 7 days of fibroid healing truths. If you're following me and you're not on the email list, what are you doing? Because I'm not gonna always be on TikTok. The link is in my bio. If you just want to get on there and learn. go ahead and click the link in my bio. Subscribe to our email list. Take YouTube. The link is in my description box if you want to subscribe to our email list. Okay. Subscribe. There's no reason you should be following me and not subscribe to our email list. You get 7 days of fibroid healing truths. Yes, it's free. It's free. It's free to subscribe to the email list. Yes, it's free. Also, too, the 5-day live course is next week. We starting in 1 week. Okay. By this, what time is it? By this time next week, I would have already been done with day 1. And you would already been getting an email with the replay. I'm going to be teaching you for 5 days how to get rid of your fibroids for 5 days in the Fibroid Life course, Fix Fibroids in 2026. If you know that 2026 is your year, you want to get rid of the fibroids, you do not want to go into the second half of the year dealing with these same fibroids, dealing with these same symptoms, dealing with the same headache, you need to be in that 5-day live course. You get lifetime access to the replays, okay? The link is in my bio for those that are interested in joining, okay? It's $297. That's USD for those that are out of the country. If you're watching from YouTube, and if you are interested in our 5-day live course, the link is in my description box, okay? If you want to learn more about it, see if it's for you, go ahead. I don't see any other questions, so you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you learned a lot. The replay is on YouTube. You should be subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. Okay, if you enjoy my live streams, you're learning, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of videos on YouTube. I have hundreds of live streams at this point as well. Okay, if you want to watch the video on how I dissolved, my 8-centimeter fibroid, I have a video on that. That's like, I think it was like a week ago or a couple weeks ago. So you can go ahead and go to the live stream section and watch that. All right, ladies, that's all. Have a good one. Bye, TikTok. Bye, YouTube.